Okay, Riley, so this is a powder scale. It's called a beam scale. It's one of my favorite types of scales, the electronic scales. Not so fond of them. So here's what we got to do first. On this thing, this beam registers a line over here. There's a line that's 0 in the middle of it. The beam is graduated. On this side of the beam, there's graduations in 10 grain increments. Over on this side, you have two different graduations. You have this bigger bar right here, this weight, that runs in 1 grain increments, and then this little tiny blade right here is in 1/10 of a grain increments. Now a grain is 1/7000th of a pound. Alright, so it's a pretty small measurement. When you get this scale and originally get the thing set up, it's kind of weird. You have this that the powder goes in to measure it. You have this little device that hangs on the hanger right there. And then you have this bar. I don't know if you can see how that goes in there. It's kind of strange, but you have to go into this thing like with this magnetic damper up in the air, kind of put it in there, and then rotate it 90 degrees until these knife blades, these little knife edges, seat like they're supposed to in there. You hang this on, and you put your little thing right there on and let it go. Now what'll happen is, you look over here where that 0 is, and this foot over here screws in or out. That's how you level that scale. So what you want to do is set all your weights on 0. Oops. Get them set right on 0. Then level your scale until that registers right on the 0 mark. Now, once it registers on the 0 mark, now you're ready to start adjusting your powder charge. In this case, we're using Trail Boss powder. Now, your powder measure, let me scoot this back so you can see this. Powder measure, simply, you put your container underneath the spout, pull up, it dumps gunpowder in there, bring it over here, set it on your scale, and move your beam until you get it to balance. In this case, this powder charge that we have is registering somewhere in the neighborhood of 8.5 grains. Now on the powder measure over here, there's a screw that screws in and out. You just move that back and forth until you get the load, the charge weight to what you want. In this case, this particular kind of gunpowder is 8.5 grains. It's an unusual kind of gunpowder. It's for real light loads. So it's it's not very dense. That 8.5 grains is all that'll fit in the case. So what we're going to do, I've pre-done this so we kind of know what we're talking about. Now, once you get your charge like it's supposed to, you can throw your funnel on there, dump your powder in the funnel, shake it a little bit till it all goes in there, and then you have your gunpowder in your cartridge. Once you get your powder measure set and your primers are all in there, then all you have to do is put your cartridge case underneath there, and you are dispensing gunpowder the same in each case every time, real quick. You don't have to use a scale. Once you get the thing set, you are good to go. Now I'm going to pick up the camera and show you a top view of what those should look like, if you can see in there or not. You can see that they got gunpowder in every one of them. You always do a visual to make sure that they all have gunpowder in them, and it's at the same level. Sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised.